Here. All right, welcome to the Pure Partners Virtual Ministry. We are so excited to have you all here on today. You know, if this is your first time on Pure Partners, the thing with Pure Partners is that we minister to all 5 areas: spirit, soul, body, social, financial. God has blessed us to be able to touch every area, and He allows us to bring on awesome men and women of God that come forth in every area: spirit, soul, body, social, financial. That's the way that the Lord ministered to us through our apostle. And that same mandate has been on us. And so we are so honored on today to be talking about finances. You know, we're 6 months in, believe it or not. I don't know about you, but when I think about that, we are 6 months into 2021, it just blows my mind how time has just flown by. And a lot of times we start strong in the beginning of the year. We start strong. We're excited. And Elder Milton Johnson, he helped us even in the beginning. We talked about some things, we wrote some things down. So it's time for that checkup. And just like with your car, you know, you got to get the oil changed. There's certain checks and things that you need to do. So we want you to know today, wherever you fall, if you're behind, if you're ahead, great. Guess what? God's got the victory, because I believe that this man of God is going to get us in line if we out of line, and He's going to help us move ahead of the line. Amen. So I'm going to turn it over to my husband, but I do want to say this about my brother. I love my brother. He's also my brother. But I love him because he works so hard, and whenever we ask him to come on, he's always willing. And I just see the work ethic, and his heart desire is to see people win. And so I just wanted to shout him out and just let him know that I love him. I just appreciate him, and my sister, awesome woman of God, Tammy Johnson. I love them so much. So I'm going to let my husband go from here.
Once again, we say good evening to everyone coming on to the Peer Partners. We want to thank you for joining us on today. Well, like my wife said, we have a special guest on today. No stranger to anyone on here. I must say, I know him for all of my life, for the 48 years on this earth. He is my eldest brother, Elder Milton J. Johnson, Jr. I'm just going to read a little bit about Milton. Milton is married to Tammy Johnson. They have 3 awesome children: Travis, Michelle, and Marcus. They have 2 adorable grandchildren, Ashton and Trinity. Milton is an elder at Berica Fellowship Church, in which he served in various leadership roles. Milton has over 20 years of finance experience. He has a passion for helping others achieve their financial goals. Milton taught a continuous education course in basic finance at Albany Technical College, which helped his students have a better understanding in personal finance. An important fundamental principle that he believed in is invest in good, solid company and hold them for a long term. Milton started a virtual financial business, Johnson Tax and Financial Solutions. To further his passion in helping others, his business provides service and tax preparation, bookkeeping, and financial coach. So I present to some and introduce to other my eldest brother, Milton J. Johnson, Jr. You there?
I am here. And thank you all for the warm accolades, Elders Maurice and Kim Johnson. Definitely appreciate and love you guys for the work that you are doing and what God is doing in this ministry. He's doing a great job. I remember when you first started, we had conference calls, and it started off small, but I see now God has blessed and He has grown into something bigger and greater. So we just thank God for what you all have done, working together. You don't really see that consistency, that commitment over the years. You all are still there. Every time I come on Pure Partners, I see the both of you are standing. You're there side by side, one another, supporting one another. And that's a true testament of what we should be doing. spiritually, emotionally, and also financially. We don't leave that out as well. But we just thank God for you and the one that's on Pure Partners. Thank you for coming on and taking your time and go into something we love. No, I love and is dear to my heart. Is talking about finances. As you know, Elder Kim Sheeran said, we get car health checkups, and we even get health checkups. I know I had a checkup early this year. Now I go twice a year to see my doctor, get some blood work and an annual physical checkup, because I want to make sure I'm in the right stand. If something happened, I want to be able to understand what I need to do to remedy that problem before it even get worse. If there's something there, I want to stop it before it get worse. And then something I need to go back and do to correct that problem, I need to be able to do that. With the doctor's help, and with me praying and seeking wise counsel, listening, and doing what the doctor tells me, I'm able to maintain my health and get in the right position. And that's the same thing with our financial health check. Periodically, we need to take inventory of where we're at and where we want to go. We need to be setting goals and going in that direction. So today I'm going to actually be talking about how to perform a financial health check. And I like to actually reference a scripture coming up. It's just going to be one verse, Ecclesiastes 5:19. And it says, it is a good thing to receive wealth from God and a good health to enjoy it, to enjoy your work and accept your lot in life. This is indeed a gift from God. Praise God. So what we want to do is, I want to ask you a question. Are your finances healthy? Think about that. When the last time you reviewed your financial situation? Sometimes we don't like to take inventory. A lot of us made New Year's resolution before January got here. I'm going to do better with my weight. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to start spending, budgeting, saving money, investing. Where are you at in that category? Have you started investing? Have you started saving? Have you done any of that? If not, this is the time to health check. Now look at where your situation is. Like getting a checkup for your physical health, to keep your health intact. You need to regularly perform a financial checkup to keep your finances healthy. Because if you're not careful, you may not have a good grip on your money, which can lead to no savings at all, and you living paycheck to paycheck. How many of us are tired of living from paycheck to paycheck? And it really doesn't matter how much money you really make. I've seen that a lot. I've seen people make $30,000, $40,000 and actually can do pretty good. I've actually seen people make $300,000, $500,000, and they're struggling. And I'm like, what are these people doing? I mean, their lifestyle doesn't correspond. They're making a lot of money, but they got big houses, $1 million houses. I see them, they send the kids to private school, doing everything to look wealthy, but they live in a life, I think, trying to keep up the Joneses and be impressive. And so now they're in debt. We don't want to do that. No matter where you're at, if you're making from $30,000 up to $500,000, this is still for you. I mean, you need to do a health check. And this can help determine how well your finances are doing or what you need to do to reach your financial goals. So the main thing is having a goal in place. What do you want to do? Do you plan on having $10,000 at the end of the year, $10,000 in 2 years? Are your kids about to go to college? Are you planning for that? Are you planning for your retirement? You need to have some goals. Do you need a new car or just a car? Or you just want to say, I want to upgrade my wardrobe. There's nothing wrong with doing any of those things, but you have to be planning and strategizing in the right way. I always tell people, man, you can do what you want to do, but it's actually being strategic and intentional with your money and directing it where it needs to be. If you're not where you want to be financially, doing a financial checkup can be stressful, and sometimes it can be discouraging, but by creating some good money habits, let's think about it, your habits need to change. This can leave you with a solid financial plan, and regularly performing a financial health checkup can help you reach your money goals. And that's what we want to do, reach those goals that we put in place. Hopefully people have written their goals down on paper. That's a very important part. And you want to put it in a place that you can see on a regular basis. Because that's the old saying, out of sight is out of mind. So if you're not seeing on a regular basis, you're not refreshing yourself. This is what I need to be doing on a regular basis and not putting it in the forefront. So make sure you put it on paper and put it in the forefront. So not only you can see it, if you have a family, you want your spouse to see it, you want your kids to see it as well, letting you know, and you're setting up a foundation of something that they can be doing. They see their mom and dad setting financial goals, they got plans and set up, guess what? They're going to transfer to your kids. And that's how you help raise your kids in financial management and financial planning. So let's get on how you want to execute an effective financial checkup. One of the first things you need to do is identify your financial goals. Statistics show that you are more likely to see and accomplish a goal if your goals are SMART. So what are those? We heard those words before, which are specific, it need to be measurable, it need to be attainable, relevant, and time specific. So this means determining why you want to accomplish that goal. What specifically are you trying to accomplish? And when you want to accomplish it by, and how will you accomplish it? You need to be thinking about those things as you go along this financial journey of where you need to be. For instance, if you're trying to pay off your credit cards, you need to ask yourself the following questions. What motivates you to do it? How much do you intend to pay off? By when? And how do you intend to succeed with making payments over the time frame you chose? So you say, I'm going to pay it off over 12 months. And you strategically put a plan in place to pay over 12 months, 24 months, whatever time frame you put in place. You need to make sure you put a good plan in place. You stick to that plan so that you could be successful. I know a lot of people like to throw out numbers. I've seen it all the time. Where you want to be? Oh, I'm going to save $2,000 by the end of the year. Okay, how you going to do it? I don't know, but I'm going to do it. By the help of God, by the grace of God, that's good. You get spiritual, super spiritual. God just going to supernaturally bless me. I'm just leaning and depending on God that he's going to make a way. He's going to open up doors. I'm just going to just walk in and just, I'm not, the birds don't even have to worry about where the nest, the foxes have a hole. No, God is going to take care of me. We get super spiritual. I see a lot of super spiritual Christians still broke, busted, and disgusted. So God has given us a mind. He has given us a plan. He has put it in each one of us of what we need to do. But it's in us to open up what God has given us, our God-given talents and gifts. He's already breathed life into you. So part of God is in you because he breathed into man, and man became a living soul. He told us to have dominion over the earth. So he's already given us the instructions. So we have to go out there and do it. Some of us still waiting on God, but God is waiting on us to carry out his instructions that he's already given to us, to be planning, to be strategic. But we still praying and trusting God is going to elevate us. Don't give up praying, but work the plan that God has given you. So do that. That's one of the first things in doing and performing is strategic, thorough financial checkup. You need to also, secondly, understand where you currently stand financially. Understand where you currently stand and with your finances. Basically, you lay in a path where you are right now and where you are trying to get. Because how are you going to know where you need to go if you don't know where you currently are right now? It might involve kicking up a bunch of dust that will make you uncomfortable once you see where you're at and perhaps make you even upset. But no, this is something that must happen in order for you to move forward. If you're going to get mad, I'm sick and tired of this, get mad. get mad at yourself. Get mad at what you should have accomplished, but you haven't accomplished yet. But once you get mad, move forward with that. Don't stay stuck in there. Determine your current debt, determine your expenses, and your income will help you understand what specific areas of your finances need the most attention, and know you can prioritize accordingly after you see how that works out. So facing your finances and taking key steps can help you reach your financial goals. Make sure you're taking those key steps. Nothing is stopping you. You're going forward. You're being powerful more than anyone can. I mean, nothing can stop you. Only thing that can stop you is you. And that's it. So make sure that you're moving forward in the word of God and in your finances. Another thing you want to do is track your spending. That means tracking and looking at your daily transactions and your expenses. This is something a lot of people have problems with. And this is something you have to get into a routine. And I think a lot of my clients, this is one of the things they struggle with, writing down everything that they have spent. You know, you want to keep a journal, a spending journal for, do it at least 7 days. Then you want to expand it to at least 30 days. I know for myself, I write stuff down, and I also have an app as well. So whatever works for you, sometimes it's just good just to write it down on paper, pen and paper, write it down what you had spent for the day. Like me, I know that I looked at even the track with my wife's man, went to Dollar General today. We bought some stuff from Longhorn. We got some other stuff. So I'm tracking everything down. I'm seeing the expenses of what was actually spent. Seeing the transaction, I know what we have in the bank. So that's something I monitor every day. That's something I'm looking at, keeping track of my daily transaction and all of my expenses. So I have a good idea since I wrote it down. I've written things down. Actually, for the year, I've written out what we expect to spend, what bills we expect to spend. I have also in my computer a spreadsheet. I have like what my bills are for that month. I put it out for each month, January, February, March, and April. And actually just go in there and put like an X in there, once I actually pay those bills off. So I can keep an idea of what's need to be paid and what's going on. And so you need to have some type of strategy of keeping up with those expenses. You don't want to get behind. You don't want to mispay your bills. I know I couldn't believe it that when we first got married, I like to tell people this a lot. I think for the first, it had to be 5 to 6, 7 years, we were never late on a bill. Never late. We didn't incur any late fees or anything because it was strategically, at that time, I had written it down on paper. I had it put a thumbtack on a piece of paper on our closet door. And so every time I was keeping up with the expenses, a bill came due, I was checking it off with a pen. I was paying my bills on time, and we were living within our means. And that was so important. I wasn't trying to live like someone else. I seen other people, I was making 3-4 times more than them. They had big screen TVs. They were buying new clothes every week. They were living like a whole lot better than I was, but I didn't get caught up into that. I said, let them live their lives. They can do what they want to do, but I have a plan, and I'm going to keep track of my spending. And I know what we need to do. And I know where I want to go. So once you do this exercise, it's going to be so eye-opening because it's going to make your finances top of mind. Once you start doing it on a regular basis, you'll be thinking about how you spend your money, and you'll be more aware of how much is leaving your bank account. So tracking your spending can also help you see where you can cut your spending plan or cut your budget. So this exercise is so important part of your financial checkup. So I encourage everyone to actually, go out there, try it, do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow. Start tomorrow after you hear this, because this is going to be life-changing. Do it for 7 days, see what happens. Then once you do it for 7 days, do it for 30 days. And they're going to give you a clear picture I mean, a clear picture. This is actually going to open up your eyes because you're not going to know exactly. You're going to be saying, man, we actually spent this. And when I say writing out everything, I mean, even like you buy a pack of some chips, coffee. I mean, it's going to be that very detailed because if you don't know, small things add up over time. And we seem to neglect small things, even like a cup of coffee that can add up. Let's say for $1 a day. I mean, that's $5 a week, $25 a month, if that. I mean, and other stuff that are that small, that can add up to like $50 to $100 a month that you're spending that you're not aware of. And you can look at how can I reduce that if you decide to do that, and where can I allocate those funds into savings or either paying off debt. So make sure you do that. That's what I'm encourage you to track your spending. 4, you want to make adjustments. Review your budget that you have or your spending plan. So once you have an idea where your money is going, you can make adjustments to your spending to ensure, you want to make sure to keep your expenses below your income and leave enough room to do things like pay down your debt and save for your goals. I know a lot of people planning for vacations. I know myself, we plan to go on a vacation next month as a family. We're looking at planning on going to New York City for a family reunion in 2022. I got to be thinking, how can I plan for this? I'm going to give you an example. So if I think I need, say, $2,000 to go to New York, and I have 13 months left, I just say 12, but just to cut it short. And if I divide those, let me just do that. Divide 12 months, just say $2,000 divided by 12 months. That's $166 and say 67 cents. That if I want to do on a regular basis, I need to save that every month to be ready for that trip. So now I'm being intentional and strategic, and then I'm putting that in my budget so I can plan for that. Because I know if my expenses are say $2,000 a month, somehow that $166.67 need to be in there every month for me to plan for that trip. So I'm looking at it, and then if I'm keeping up my expenses and I'm tracking it, I know exactly where I'm at. It won't be a surprise by the time family reunion because I know what I want. I set a goal, I set a target. I know what it takes to get there, and so I'm planning in advance to get there. So if anything else comes up, like the impulse buying, like my wife said, I want a new Gucci bag for $500. I may say, well, I want to buy me a new suit for $600 or $700. I know they're going to impact my budget. I just can't go out there and just buy it because I already got a plan in place. So if I was doing that in the past, I had to make adjustments and review my budget. And so now I got to decrease some expenses somewhere else to make plans for that goal that I have set in place. So I'm going to New York. I want to save that amount of money. I got to have that plan right now. I can't let nothing deter me. And that's one of the most important things is discipline. And then you have to be disciplined and focused to make sure that you make those adjustments and you review your account. And it's important to review your budget regularly as a part of your financial checkup. Remember that budgeting takes practice. It takes practice at practice. You may fail next month. Say, oh man, this thing don't work. Try it again the next month. You say, oh man, I did bad. Try it again the next month. Keep practicing. Don't stop. Don't get deterred. You may have started just like going on, like people go on diets. I don't say you should go on a diet. You should make a lifestyle change. Because usually when you go on a diet, what happens? You lose weight for 2 or 3 months, then you stop, then basically gain that weight back after that. In order really to keep it off, you got to make what? A lifestyle change. And that's changing your thought process. And this is the same way. This is a lifestyle change. This is behavioral modification. What I used to do, I can't do anymore. I need to be thinking in advance. Well, you still can do something, but now you're thinking about doing something more in moderation. Okay, it's eat out every day. I can't eat out every day now. Now maybe I got to eat out 2 or 3 times a week. I'm not stopping enjoying entirely what I'm doing, but now I cut some things. I'm doing some things in moderation, but I'm also saving. I'm also reducing some debt as well. So that's what it's going to take. It's going to take practice and practice. And don't assume it's going to be perfect on your first try. Don't beat yourself up. I'll say to people, I just can't get this right. But keep on trying. Keep on trying. Don't give up. Keep on trying. I mean, that's the one thing you want to do. It's also a good idea to plan your budget for each month a couple of days before the month start. So right now we're in June. So before July get here, say 2 or 3 days out, no, write your budget out on how you're gonna do plan for July. If you plan on going somewhere in July, like I know that we're gonna be going to Tennessee in July. I need to be writing that down. I actually know in advance, perhaps about what we're going to be doing. So before July get here, me and my wife we'll sit down and talk about something. What do you plan on doing? Do you have anything that you need to do or buy? Then we'll sit and write a budget, write it down on paper. Then we see things like going over the budget. Okay, what can we take out? What can we hold off into the next month or whatever? So now we're being strategic. So now we're doing it in advance. Okay, this is what we need to be doing for July. This is something we can't do in July. So we plan it a few months, a few days in advance. And guess what we're doing? We're talking about, I just can't make the budget myself. So that's why I always tell my, hey, we need to get this thing together because I can write it things down and she's not on board. It probably won't do any good, not doing me any good. She's not looking at it. And she just spend whatever. I mean, it don't do any good for me to make a budget if both of us are not on one accord. So both of us need to be on one accord. If you're married, both of you need to be looking at the budget and having a good spending plan. Another step, step 5, you want to review your savings and investments for the long term. I know everybody want to get rich quick. I know you've been seeing GameStop going up. You're seeing Dogecoin, not AMC. And I know I talk to people, I want to get rich quick. How can I get $1,000 and turn to $10,000 in 2 weeks? I don't know. I wonder if I know that, if I knew the answer, I'd do it right now. I tell you, I'd do it right now. I'd be doing it every week. If I knew how to do it, I would be doing it. But what you need to be doing, you want to put away some money in an emergency fund. I know basic steps, something you can do, something that can be in your control. So put some money in an emergency fund. So this is money that's going to buffer your expenses, your finances in the event of an unplanned life circumstances. So something you didn't plan to happen. You like having us with both of our cars break down. Worst case scenario, you lose a job, refrigerators, water heater, water cooler heater. No, that goes out. You have some money in advance. So usually $1,000, you get help cover some of those basic expenses. I would say, save at least $1,000. And even now with inflation, the way it's going now, you may want to save $1,500. Wait, these post-COVID or still COVID prices, they've skyrocketed now. It's unbelievable. But you need to have that in place. I mean, that need to be separate from everything else. Because I know if you be in that same place with your regular savings, with your regular checking account, it's going to get spent. Oh, I say that for you need to plan. It need to be in something separate. I know how we are, our tenants. I know people say, I'm not going to touch it. Something comes up, emergency comes up. I need that new dress. Emergency, it's on sale. I never seen it that low for it on sale. We need to get that. That's a great deal. I can't miss a deal like that. We always see good deals, especially you shop on Amazon and then we see all sorts of good deals. So, then that emergency, we think that's an emergency. I need it right now, but not for that type of emergency. So $1,000 not for that emergency. And then you want to plan to grow to three to 6 months of your basic living expenses. So what your basic living expenses is $2,000 a month for you to live, and you multiply 2,000 times 3. So you need at least a minimum of 6,000, and 2,000 times 12, well, times 6 is 12,000. So you need $6,000 to $12,000 worth of basic living expense. If that, that's just an example, you will need. And based on the way things went last year in 2020, I try to shoot for the 6 months. A lot of people were out without jobs, things happened. I know we couldn't have imagined COVID coming. I couldn't have imagined that. So I can't imagine something else coming more drastically than that. Can it be? I don't know. May not, but we never know. But it's better to be prepared, to have an emergency plan in place than to not have an emergency plan in place and need that money. And now you're scrambling around trying to look, expecting the government to help you out. Oh man, the government need to be doing this. You be the one to say, well, just I'm already good to go, man. Hey, we all right. And you saying all right, and you really mean it. Everybody say they all right, but they're not all right. But you can say it and really mean it. So it's very important to save for your mid and long-term goals, including your retirement, because it's going to be here before you know it. I know I'm 51 and said I got here before I knew it. Man, I was like, whoo, man, 51 came here real quick. But so retirement, I'm close to retirement, then I'm not to retirement. So I have 401k plan, but just think if I didn't have a 401k, I have an IRA, I have one for me, I have one for my wife. She have a retirement plan. So we both are planning for retirement. We're thinking not, we just gonna once we get in our 70, 60 to 70, that the government just gonna take care of us, or we just gonna have a pension. Because some pension plans have gone away. People would depend on their pension. The company went belly up. Now they accept the company want to sue the company, and they may not ever get a pension. But you need to be preparing yourself, your own retirement plan, mean contributing to your employer-sponsored retirement program. If they have like a match, say up to 5%, give at least 5%. I mean, that's free money, 5%. I've done it with every job I've been with, and it's grown my retirement so much faster to take advantage of that match that they give to you. So you say, well, my job don't give me anything, or either I'm self-employed or I have my own business. Then you need to set up an IRA at least. And there are some self-employed 401k plans as well out there. So, but you can set up a minimum of an IRA. And then you also will need to have some investments outside of your retirement. So you may have like a mutual fund that you may want to invest in, which I think, that's having part of your money in the stock market and having a diversified portfolio. So what you're doing, you actually paying a money manager to actually determine what stocks to buy and when to sell. And then you get a percentage of all those different stocks that they're buying and selling. You're getting a rate of return off of that. So have something also outside your retirement plan. Diversify your investments. Can help secure your financial future. You don't want to put all your money in AMC because that's been the latest flavor of the month. And so, okay, it's been going up. Well, you put all your money in Bitcoin. So they said they expect it to go from 30-some thousand to $100,000. So I'm gonna put all of it in Bitcoin. Don't do that. Don't put it all in one stock. Diversify it. And then if you're making those contributions to your 401k plan, make sure that you increase the increments 1% every year until you reach the allowed contribution limit for your particular stock. So add 1% every year to your 401k. Next, you want to make sure that you get properly insured. A crucial part of your financial checkup is reviewing your insurance policies to ensure you have enough coverage for incidents that may occur. Doesn't matter you had a car wreck, you didn't have any car insurance, or your house burned down and you didn't have any mortgage insurance. And then some people are renting. Do you have renter's insurance? Just because you are renting out an apartment or a house, that doesn't mean that a landlord will have your stuff covered. So if a fire break out, storm or flood damage your furniture, you need to have some sort of renter's insurance to make sure that you're properly covered, so that your assets are covered. Stuff that happen, you can recuperate, and you won't be like, oh man, I thought they had insurance. I thought they could cover me. I mean, a lot of people, I say people do that, and they have a lot of expensive out-of-pocket costs. Another thing you want to make sure is life insurance. Oh man, I like to emphasize, especially with our African community, life insurance is so important. I don't know how many times I've seen people, family members, outside family members, associates, have a loved one that passed, and now they don't have any life insurance policy in place. Now they trying to shuffle around, trying to get everyone to pay some money to help with the burial costs. And the thing is, that's really the easiest thing, the burial costs. But now the hardest thing, that second income, they'll depend on that second income. Now that second income is gone. And now that other spouse that left alive, God forbid they have children. Now they got that one income lost. They had their family, their children still have to live. Now what happened? Now they're grieving even more, because not only because of death, but how are we going to live? How can I take care of my family? What's going to happen? I know I used to talk when I was with Edward Jones, and I was selling, I had him a life insurance. I was talking to people about life insurance, especially our black men. They didn't, for some reason, they were very reluctant to get life insurance policy. I said, why you don't want to make sure your family's insured? Well, they're gonna be all right. I don't want them to get I die, they get more money than what we've been used to. She gets somebody else and then I'm dead. I don't want that to happen. I'm like, don't you want your family to enjoy life? I say it's about taking care of your family. But I got on some debates with some people about life insurance and their reasoning. The reasoning for not wanting to get it, that what got me. Their reason, not like, oh, I really can't afford it. I could have kind of, okay, to get something cheaper, at least get burial. If that's the minimum you want to get. But you don't want to stop there. If you get at least $50,000 or more, I mean, that's how some people leave inheritance. And they may have like $1 million insurance policy. I'm saying we haven't caught on to it. Our culture, some people, they'll take out $1 million policy. They leave it to their kids, their grandkids, because they want to leave an inheritance. They want to leave a legacy behind. And we haven't gotten into that yet. And some people even have life insurance policy where they pass, they give it to their favorite charity. They may want to give it to the church, Red Cross, or something like that. And they do use life insurance policy to actually pay like inheritance taxes. They use it certain ways. So you want to speak with your agent. If you have an insurance agent, speak with them. Make sure you understand what your insurance cover and what it doesn't cover. So make sure you have an insurance policy. Your car, your house is covered, and most importantly, make sure that your life is covered as well. You want to check your credit report. You shouldn't have surprises and say, oh man, I did not have that. I've been on there 5 years. You haven't checked your credit report in 5 years. That's a shame. You need to be checking it on a regular basis, at least annually. See, you actually can pull your credit report free. Once a year is annualcreditreport.com. So you go on annualcreditreport.com and get a free credit report. I mean, you actually get one for each of the three main TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. you could get a free credit report from each one of them because they all reporting agencies. So make sure you check that, because I remember one time I had paid off a Cadillac I used to have own, paid it off, everything. And I was going back, checking my credit report, and it was still on there, like it was an outstanding balance. I'm like, wait a minute, it's been paid off. They had to go back and challenge that and get it taken off my credit report, and actually improve my credit by me doing that. So your credit worthiness is used to help determine a lot of things, like your eligibility for like a cell phone, renting an apartment, being approved for loans, and even some jobs look at your credit report, and they want to make sure that they can trust, especially you work in an area of finance. They definitely want to look at they want to look at your credit report. Or if you go on something like, I know when I went into management, they wouldn't look at my credit report. And I was at UPS because I was dealing with I had to deal with budgets and deal with some finances and a lot of some financial transactions. So they had to look at my credit score. So you want to also, this can help you get lower interest rates. So use the one that they don't really trust that well, which have a bad credit report. They're usually going to charge you a high interest rate. I let you know that I really can't trust you as much, so you're going to pay more. But those with better credit reports, okay, well, you've been paying everybody the whole time. You've been doing a good job with your credit, so I'm going to give you a lower interest rate because, I feel confident that you're going to pay me back. So I'm going to lower it for you to actually pay me. So checking your credit is an important part of your financial checkup. Step 8, review or create an estate plan. More like for us, the basic thing, create a will. So, but reviewing your estate is a vital part of your financial checkup. If you don't have one in place, you need to get one in place to ensure that you want your finances in order. This plan can ensure that things are carried out, your wishes, and that your family is financially secured for you, is cared for. And I see in instances, definitely designate who your beneficiaries are for your assets. I've seen a situation where man got married, he got a divorce, divorced his wife, and he remarried. Been with the wife for some number of years, but when he died, the man died, but he did not change his beneficiaries. When he passed, a lot of things went to the ex-wife because it wasn't changed. Now, if he wanted us to go to his current wife, they're gonna carry out the wishes of what that beneficiary said. It was his ex-wife getting it, and so she got whatever was left in his, his 401k money, pension, because the beneficiary. So if you have some life-changing event, you get a divorce, you remarry, or either you have children, or either children leave, or whatever. Make sure that you're reviewing this and that it's current. So make sure you do that. I'm coming down towards the end. You want to get accountability. You need someone you can trust. I would say suggest getting someone like a financial consultant, financial coach, that's someone that can give you accountability. These people are here to share your goals, who probably on the same journey as you, will accomplish things that you are trying to achieve. Their job is to keep you motivated, keep you on track. And you don't feel, even when you don't feel like, man, I don't feel like having a spending plan. I just want to go out there and just spend me some money. I want to go out to the nightclub and just make it rain. He gonna tell you, it's not raining time. No, I need to make it rain in your house. You're not going out. Or or if you're having a great week and say, man, I got a lot of overtime, man, I'm going on a shopping spree now. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, you got some overtime, you got some extra money, okay. How much you plan on spending? Oh, well, I'm going to spend all of it. I'm going to ball. God been blessing me. I'm just going to get everything he have for me. The enemy not going to stop. We'll throw some spiritual stuff in there. But, we want to make sure that we get something, but we're also saving and paying down some debt. And then that financial consultant or financial coach can be the one that can help balance that. That's why it's so important that we have one, so we can stay motivated, we can stay on track. We have a second pair of eyes, second pair of ears that are actually listening and try to guide you in the right direction. They won't steer you. You know, you get your other friend, your buddy, like, oh man, you deserve that and some more. What you been waiting on, man? Man, let's go out. Go out with the boys or go out with the girl, man. We're gonna have us a party. You know, they're gonna always encourage you to spend money. Because everybody's gonna say, you only live life once. We never know we're gonna die. We'll find all sorts of good ways of spending all of the money. And my thing is enjoy life. Enjoy life. That's what God wants us to do. But he wants to do it in moderation. He wants us to be good stewards of what he has given us. That's the thing about being a good steward. Not just doing without, not going without lack, but being a good steward of what we have. He don't want us to be beneath. He don't want us borrowing. No, we scared to answer our phone because of the creditor. The phone started ringing, and you and your wife looking at, oh, who you think that is? Then you know who it is. You can look at the number. Oh man, then they leave a voicemail on there. We've been trying to reach you. This is our third time calling you. Please give us a call. You don't want to have those type of calls. You know, that's adding additional stress to your life. So, you know, you want to avoid that. So make sure you have accountability to help you avoid those situations. And regularly perform these financial checkups. Like your budget, you should do a regular financial checkup. Set a reminder on your calendar. So I'm going to put something in place now. Say, okay, at the end of July, end of December, or whatever the case may be, put something on your calendar so you can review where you're at. Have somebody help you review it. And something changed, your salary changed, it may increase or decrease. You know, you may have some personal situation, some debt may have increased, but you need to stay on top. I want you staying on top of your finances. And I think that with proper planning and with God in front of you and before you, ain't nothing can stop you. God bless you. I hope this has been a blessing to someone. And I'm looking forward to everyone having some great reports of their financial checkup. God bless. Thank you to Maurice and Kim Sharon Johnson.
Amen.
Amen. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like to say, when we do have Elder Milton Johnson Jr. on, when he's teaching, he lives it also. You know, I can tell he's been living it since he was a teenager. You know, working at McDonald's. You know, his first job was at McDonald's, and I tell you, he was saving then as a teenager. So he always does a great job with this. We thank him for this. We get ready to open up for questions and comments. Before we do, I just want to say a couple of things he said that stood out. When he first started saying we need to take inventory where we are at, you know, stop and just take an evaluation of yourself. Okay, where I'm at right now, you know, where I need to go, in which direction I need to go in. So first, taking the inventory of yourself. We have to do a regular checkup on our finance. And like we always compare with our vehicle. You know, we go in for our oil change, you know, we go in to get our tune up, you know, on a regular basis to keep it running well. You know, you want your finance running well as well. He said we have to have a goal in place. And it goes wrong with the scripture where there is no vision, the people perish. You know, so you got to write it down and make it plain. You know, you got to see where you're going. Because like I said, you can have thoughts in your mind, but you need to be able to see it. You know, so you see if you can achieve it. You know, he gave the identify your financial goal. He gave the why, the what, the when, and the how. And he talked about facing your finance. You know, sometimes we don't want to face our finance because we feel like we're in such a bad situation, or we ashamed of our finance. But we got to take it on head on. We got to face our finance. He talked about lifestyle modification in your finance. I think that's a big one right there. We had to make modifications in our finance to change our lifestyle in our finance. You know, like he always said, you know, we don't want to keep trying to live like the Joneses, and, you know, living above our means. And, you know, back at home we eating bread and water, all the time. You don't want to do that, so you got to make modification. Uh, my last comment: get those credit reports. Get your check your credit scores, and like he said, it affects on how you can get loans and how you can get even jobs. I take my job, I had to have a security clearance to get my job. If my credit score was 200, I don't think I'd be working at Bourne Sikorsky. But you got to make sure you have your check on your credit scores and be good stewards of your finance. So once again, I want to thank Elder Milton Johnson for those comments.
Amen. So we're going to open up for question and comments. I really like what you were talking about with estate planning and about burial, because I work at the VA, and you will be amazed as when someone passes away, a lot of times the spouse, they could have gotten a divorce. We're trying to find family members, don't know who's in charge of what, because let's say the service member, when he was in service and he set everything up, he never went back to change his beneficiary. So it's just so key, like you said, if we do these checkups, we can stay on top of and updating that information. I think one of the reasons why people don't like to even go this deep into it, because it requires change. Like you were saying, you get upset when you really look at it. And they talked about how with couples, one of the main reasons couples get divorced, and I know you've heard this before, is because of finances. Because a lot of times they don't talk about it. It's just, it's taboo, but you're struggling at the same time. So being able to have those conversations, talk through those conversations, make decisions about what we need to stop doing and what we need to start doing is so important. Because when you are acting like it's not happening, it's happening. I mean, it's happening. And I think we've experienced that early on in our marriage, and we're transparent about it. And a lot of times, if you're not in agreement about your spending habits, and one person doesn't want to confront the other person, or the other person, and so you're acting like it's not happening. No, it's happening. And so you have to get and I love what you said, have the conversation. It'll be okay. Have the conversation. Somebody might be mad. Somebody might be offended. You might say one thing, well, this is why. And the other person may say, well, this is why. But at the end, if you do it the right way, you're praying, and if God is in the midst, you can come to a middle ground where you can come to unity. And so that's going to be the key. But to not have the conversation, it's still happening. You're just not having the conversation. And we're speaking from experience. And I just thank God for wisdom over the years and a desire to get better. So that was so key what you said. Have the conversation, and don't delay about it. So I just thank God for that. Are there any other comments or questions? You can take yourself off mute.
One thing I would like to add is sometimes, especially when they talk about life insurance, that's something I know a lot of people say they feel uncomfortable talking about. And that's one thing that we know that's going to happen. We're not going to live here forever. So we have to get past that. I don't want to think about you dying. I don't want to think about my wife dying, my kids, my mom. I don't want to think about it. My dad passed last year. I don't want to think about them passing or them dying, but I know things happen. It's inevitable. Hopefully I can outlive everybody. I mean, I die before my kids. Hopefully, they could be burying me. That's I don't want to bury them. But you have to have those conversations. And that's one thing, especially my mom, she always kept in the forefront. When we was kids, talked about life insurance, and burial. And she talked about it on a regular basis. Then my dad, I think even about 2 or 3 years before he passed, we had a conversation at the house about if he passed, how things were going to go. So we already had an idea of how things were going to go based on the conversation he had with us. So there was no conflict, no issues or anything like that. And you want to have that before the inevitable. Hopefully, you know, although people say, I may get caught up in the rapture. I say, well, if you don't, well, if you die here. So, you know, you need to be ready or whatever. So that's my take on that.
So true. Any other comments or questions? You know, I know to that point of what you were saying about our ministry, I thank God for our pastors, apostle, and prophetess Brownie. We actually had it this was just a few weeks ago. We had an actual class through our marriage ministry, but it was for everybody about burial, about insurance. And when it's so, you know, when she began to teach on it, boy, you could hear it was, I mean, you could just feel the tenseness. This was a few weeks, what, about a month ago, dear? About a month ago. And you could just feel when we first talked about it, everybody was quiet. I mean, it was like quiet because it is that taboo thing that nobody wants to talk about, you know, and then on TV, you know, well, if I tell this, maybe they're going to plan to do something. You're just craziness. You know, he gonna try to take me out if we, you know, just craziness, you know. So you don't want to talk about it. And then I think there's really a fear associated to some degree with death. If we just be honest, some people just, the thought of what happens to me after, it's a scary thing. If we just be, you know, straight and honest about it. So people don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it. Yeah. Been there. Anyone else? Amen. Well, I think, okay, we're going to put Elder Milton's Cash App in. Feel free to, because we're definitely going to sow definitely good ground. You know, he comes on quarterly and blesses us. I thank God for my sister-in-law being on. Hey, Sister Tammy, you got anything you want to say? I thank God for her. Always like to acknowledge her. Okay, she may have to be away from the phone, but I just love the way they work in unity in their marriage. Hey, sis, go ahead.
No, I'd just like to say I always, of course, enjoy the different speakers you all have on Pure Partners, but especially my husband, like my brother Maurice was saying, and Sister Kim was saying, he actually not only teaches this, but he lives this lifestyle daily. And it's kind of funny because he does such a great job with it that our baby boy has nicknamed him. And, you know, it's just fun how even the children watch it. And it's just a blessing to have someone in your home that's concerned about your finances and make sure everything goes accordingly. And I just can't ask for a better partner as far as making sure that we're going to always have a roof over our head, make sure we have funds to do the things that's needed, and also funds to do even some of the things that we want. So I truly thank God for that. And just thank you all again for having him on. And as always, it's a blessing to hear him allow God to speak through him.
Amen. Amen. God bless you, sis.
Amen.
About that nickname, Mr. Crab. I was like,
Oh, is that what he call you?
Hey, because I was just getting ready to say, I'm going to have to ask my nephew when I see him what the nickname is.
Mr. Crab don't budge on anything, no dollars or nothing.
All right. I wish I had enough over 30 plus years ago. I can agree with my nephew. He doesn't budge. I'm talking about, like you said, he lives, you know, what he teaches. And he's like you said, being a good steward of what God has given them.
Right.
So that's the way I look at it now, just being a good steward.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any comments? You can't take yourself off of mute if you have a comment at this time.
Right.
If not, we get ready to move into our announcements.
All right, let me get these announcements ready here.
We get ready to turn it over to Davida.
Davida,
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
assistant.
All righty.
A minute, Davida, let me get this going here. All right, ma'am.
All righty. Our announcements for this week.
I'll do this one, Davida.
Okay.
Okay, this was always near and dear to my heart. The Milton J. Johnson Scholarship. We will be announcing the Milton J. Johnson Scholarship June 19th. It'll be live on Facebook, the Peer Partners page. More information to come. It will be later this week. We'll have to be making more information about it, but we are excited. Myself, Peer Partners, and then my family, our mom, my siblings, we came together to select the winner of the Milton J. Johnson Scholarship. And this is something that we will be doing every year, but you can continue to, if you want to continue to donate to the Milton J. Johnson Scholarship Fund, you can. Like I said, this will be something that we'll be doing every year, but we will be announcing the winner, the recipient for this year, 2021. We'll be announcing it next Saturday.
Man.
Davida.
All right. Also on next Sunday, we want you to join us again. June 21st at 6 p.m. It is Father's Day, and our own founder, Elder Maurice Johnson, will be ministering to the fathers, a tribute to the fathers. So please join us again next week. And also our own co-founder, Kim Cherian Johnson, her book is now available.
Yeah.
It is now available, and we want you to order your signed copy and order one to sew today. We're currently taking orders for signed copies by Cash App at $ Pure Partners for Life, Zelle 931-220-2796, and via PayPal, Maurice and Kim Johnson 42@gmail.com. The cost of the book, which includes shipping, is $15 for a signed copy. And this is only for the next couple of weeks. So please make sure to go ahead, if you want a signed copy, to go ahead and order. The paperback books are also currently available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and other retailers. The ebook will be available within the next 10 to 12 days. For more up-to-date information, visit the website www.kimjohnsonempowers.com. And please, once you buy your book, we also want you to rate the book and write a review of the book on Amazon and goodreads.com. This is going to help push the book to bestseller. So we want you to not only buy one and so on, but we also want you to rate the book and write a review. And please spread the word on all social media platforms. And we also want you to join us on Saturday, June the 27th. We will be celebrating the launch of the book virtually via Facebook, and we want you to join us. And also, we want you to please tune in via Facebook, because we're going to have giveaways. We're going to have questions from the author is going to be accepting questions. They're going to have trivia. So it's going to be a very, very exciting time, and we want you to join us.
All right, we ask you to get ready, get ready, get ready, men. We call it all men, whether you're a dad, grandpa, pawpaw, brother, uncle, nephew, son. Get ready for our men's virtual in gathering, men check. The title of the men check this quarter. I am my brother's keeper, July the 10th at 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We ask that you go on Eventbrite to register. The registration is free. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this free event. We have 3 awesome men of God that's going to come forth and take us to the next dimension in manhood. We have my good friend, my brother out of Atlanta, Georgia, Bishop Curtis Whaley. His topic is Man on Fire. Dr. Charles A. Johnson out of Phoenix, Arizona, A Few Good Men, and Bishop Stephen B. Thomas out of Louisiana, The Man in the Mirror. So I tell you, these 3 awesome men of God, they are going to take us to the next dimension in manhood. Do not miss this event.
And ladies, we want you to join us as well. Our next Women's In Gathering is Saturday, August the 7th from 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the theme is Walking in Dominion, Power, and Authority. We will have 4 awesome speakers: Dr. Bernita Adams Robinson, Elect Lady Tasha Whaley, Dr. Pamela D. Odom, and Prophetess Roberta Hatch. So please join us. You may register for free at eventbrite.com. And also, we want you to spread the word about Pure Partners. Please tell someone, share our Facebook page, share our Instagram, and visit our YouTube channel. And if you so choose to sow into the Pure Partners Ministry, because their desire is to be a blessing and sow into others. So if you desire to sow into Pure Partners, you may do so via Cash App, via Zelle, via PayPal. And also, before we close out on tonight, we want to cover your prayer requests. If you have a prayer request, please feel free to take yourself off of mute or post it in the chat so that we may cover you in prayer.